अणु रेणु हर चीज में उनका चित्त है। लेकिन चित्त का मतलब ये होता है कि वो साक्षी है, देख रहे हैं। चित्त का मतलब होता है वो साक्षी है, देख रहे हैं। और कार्यान्वित जो है वो ब्रह्म चैतन्य। लेकिन जैसे कि संगीतकार जब आपने कल देखा या जब देखते हैं, वो सामने को देख करके बजाता है। उसी प्रकार ब्रह्म चैतन्य उस चित्त की दृष्टि को देख करके ही कार्यान्वित होता है। उस दृष्टि को, उस चित्ती को ब्रह्म चैतन्य जानता है और वो इस कार्य तब करता है जब उस चित्ती को देखकर से वो ठीक समझता है। जैसे अभी हमारे आते साथ एक साहब आए थे, एकदम से उन्होंने पानी माकर जा रहे, देखते साथ एकदम पका मुझे देखा, मैंने कुछ कहा नहीं, पूछे, सिर्फ मुझे देख करके एकदम सब पका। उसी प्रकार वो कुछ कहेंगे अल्लाह है, क्योंकि ब्रह्म चैतन्य ये देवी की शक्ति है और वो कार्यान्वित है और वो उस देखने वाले को जानती है और उस शक्ति की पूरी समय यही लीला है कि उस एक देखने वाले को खुश रखना है। इसलिए कभी कभी आप कहते भी हैं कि मां ऐसे गड़बड़ क्यों हो गया। हाँ, इसलिए हो गया कि वो जो चित्ती थी उसका रूप बदल गया। अगर आप आज शिव की पूजा कर रहे हैं तो ये मैंने जो 4 नाड़ियां बताई हैं उसकी ओर नजर करें और जिस तरह से मैंने आपसे बताया है कि अपने को किस तरह से इन 4 चीजों में लीन कर लेना चाहिए। ये कोई बड़ी गहन बात नहीं है, लेकिन सूक्ष्म है। और फिर आप मुझे बताइएगा कि इस तरह से अंतर्मन करके जो आपने अपने साथ विचारणा की कही या तपस्या की है या जो वार्तालाप किया है और जो अपने चित्त को शुद्ध किया है, उससे आप एकदम पाइएगा कि आप शिव के सागर में पूरी तरह से डूब और ऐसी दशा आप सबकी हो जाए, यही मेरी एक शुद्ध इच्छा है। The lecture was quite big for all of you who are here. I'm happy that you could all come down for the Shri Puja. And now, as they have requested in Europe also, we are going to have a Shri Puja on the 17th, I think, in Rome. They have never had Shri Puja in the West. And that's why I have decided that we'll have to put a so it's quite a difficult thing to have Shiva Puja with such close proximity. Today I have told them how we have got 4 channels in our heart where Shiva resides, and how we have to introspect ourselves and control our attention. Because in Sahaja Yoga there is all freedom to be the way you are. Nothing is asked to be sacrificed or to be given up, as they were told before, to go to the Himalayas, take out all your clothes and shiver there in the cold and all sorts of things. The body, the importance of the body, has to be reduced. And for that, you have to put your attention inward and try to find joy in everything. To put your attention inside is very easy because you are meditating. Supposing you are going by a bullock cart. If a man is used to Rolls Royce, he will be all the time complaining, what is this nonsense? Why have I to go by a bullock cart? Horrible this that. But a child, if he is bullock cart, he will enjoy it. What a nice thing, you are jumping up and down, very nice, how the bullocks are running, beautiful, you can watch everything so carefully outside. Because it's so innocent, like you want to have a proper bathroom, you want to have a proper bed, you want to have all these things. But if you want to make a fun out of it, it's very interesting. Once I went to Lucknow, I went to stay with the reservation apartment. And they had only one pot, so it was not so rich. They had lost all their zamindari. They said, only one pot, if you want to can stay or sleep on the pot or on the ground. I said, all right, I'll try this cot. That cot was made of coir, and it was all touching the ground like that. So it's just like sleeping on the ground, it was all like that. But in the night, I found lots of rats running over my body. So I was watching them. So the people got very much worried. They said, what? These rats are what? Crawling upon you and going round and round. Yes, I said, one of them is still here under my house. So they said, I'm too disturbed. I said, what is there to be disturbed? I'm just watching them. I've never seen so many rats together. Just enjoying them. And then they said, you are sleeping in this kind of a cot and you might get a little pain tomorrow. I said, no, I'm just enjoying. This is like a nice spring here. It's nice. You can move about. Very nice, very interesting. Next time I was very fresh and I was surprised how I was so fresh. So all these discomforts of body and all that, and the way we are correcting everything and thinking about everything, complaining about everything, it's just a myth. Now you don't have to go to the others. What you have to do? Surrender all these things into the ocean of joy, or dissolve it into the ocean of joy. All these comforts. Then also the artificial norms of life that have come up, like you have to have disheveled hair, otherwise you are not in. You have to be really crazy to be in. There are many other things, stupid I think very much, that have come in vogue. People are following them because they are the norms. If you don't do that, then you think you are not alright, or others may start to know what funny man is. That doesn't mean you should be funny or you should be beat or anything. But not to be so much worried about the norms. Like one day, I saw one gentleman was extremely upset. In England, Indian gentleman. I said, what happened? Why are you so upset? He said, by mistake, I used a fish knife for eating meat. So what happened? It will be washed in. I said, it's all right. You didn't trust that impression, huh? It doesn't matter. If you have eaten fish knife, if you have used fish knife for this, so you must use fish knife first and use that. All nonsense. It's not so important when your equanimity, then your balance. So all these little things can also upset us. On the contrary, I would say, oh, really, I did eat that. It's really good. It's a good thing that I broke something, a big image of a former dinner was broken. So, it was good. Next time everybody will do that. It may start as a fashion, possibly. If you just put your attention into that this body is for the, not for the penance, but for the havana. It's to be used for the havana, for the yajna. And then you can tell your body nicely that now please behave yourself. Okay? So first you have to denounce all its demands, and then it becomes a thing that you use it for doing God's work. I must say, compared to Indians, Westerners are much better in this. I must. Indians want at first the best rooms, they have to fight for it. Now gradually they are coming around with it. But still, sometimes they start getting about this and about that. But that way, I don't know how, but I must say in the West, or even in Australia, people are not so much bothered about this. I remember once, we had gone to Ganpati a long time back, and there were no arrangements for sleeping, because the MPG said not liquidate. They said we'll do it next day. So many of us just went to the seashore and slept there. It's thoroughly enjoyed it because we really enjoyed it. The second part is the attachments are there. Or we can say first of all is the desire. The desire to have this, desire to have that, all kinds of desires. As you have seen, we never feel free. And we are never satisfied with them when they are satisfied. So, what do we do with our desire? Dissolve it into Shuddha, into the pure desire of Buddha. A third thing is that we have our relations. I mean, I think with the Westerners, especially when they get married, I don't know what happens to them. Then suddenly they think they are now married, so now they have become noble, we get praise to God and everything. And of course, Indians have the other way around. I mean, both is just the same. So, one has to understand that, all right, it's an event of marriage. But the attention should not entangle with any person whatsoever. As I have told you many times, the sap of the tree has to rise and give its attention to all the parts of the tree and go back. If it gets attached to any one of the parts, the whole tree will die as well as that part will also die. So in every relationship, whatever you have to give, whatever you have to give to your sister, to your brother, to your children, to your wife, has to be done. But you should not get entangled with it. So what do we do with our attachments? Dissolve it in compassion. And compassion is like sea. The nature of the compassion is it fulfills all the teachings, all the manners, all the defects. It just runs in. The fourth one is the one which is for your attention. When your attention is so pure, then it nourishes its fourth channel, which blossoms, rises through your electricity, goes into your sahasrara and becomes a lotus of fragrance. Then sahasrara starts giving the fragrance of the heart. That's how the combination of the heart and the brain is. So this attention itself is the power of Shiva. The attention, which we call as Chit. And this attention is present in every comma of the all-pervading power, the Chaitanya. And this attention really is respected when these Chaitanya commas go into action. While this attention is quiet, just watch it, just see it. Doesn't react, but they see the attention as it is. Just watch it. And they know what it is. Accordingly they act. So Shiva is just a spectator watching the work of the goddess. He's the only spectator. And if he gets angry, and if he sees that human beings are not respectful to his power, then he comes into action and destroys the whole world, destroys the whole work of the goddess. So it is important that you also join hands, work down the work of the goddess so that Shiva is happy and we create a new world of spirituality and peace.